Hello, hello, and welcome. Hi, everyone. We are here today again for another live Q&A. This is a Ask the Professional Organizer, and we're talking about the business of professional organizing, working as a professional organizer as a full-time career job, and what it is like to organize for a living and have that as your income. That's what I do. So I'm Catherine Lawrence. I'm a certified professional organizer, and I have been in the organizing industry since 2002. So I've done all kinds of organizing, from kitchens to hoarding to relocation to KonMari. I'm certified organizer, and I'm a certified professional organizer and a certified KonMari consultant. That's the official title. So you're in good hands today. I've got a lot of experience working in this industry. So welcome. I'm just going to pop over here to YouTube to make sure I'm coming through loud and clear, make sure I can see myself. And I have got some great questions that have come in this week, which is awesome. So I actually have quite a few questions that have sort of already come in. And so I'll kind of bounce back and forth between the questions that I've already gotten and the questions that you guys can ask that are coming in live today. I wonder if how my connection is. When you guys come on, let me know how my connection is, because when I look at it on YouTube, I'm kind of spotty here. So I don't know if I want to maybe restart this again. Well, let me kind of get going here, and if I need to change my connection, it looks like it's doing okay now. We're just going to kind of keep going, and as you come in, please let me know you're here. Let me know where you are today. I am in Central Virginia. That is kind of my thanks, Margaret. I was like, there's always this moment where I'm like, can people hear me? Is anyone there? Yeah, my internet was being really weird today, guys. So if for some reason I have to kind of shut this whole thing down, what I'll do is pull out my cell phone and I'll go back on YouTube. So you'll just have to kind of restart the YouTube page, but I'll just kind of come back on and sort of start over. But okay, looks like a couple of people are coming in, and yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this is going to be Q&A for professional organizers. And like I said, I've got so many questions that came in. So feel free to put questions in the comments, but I'm going to kind of jump into some questions that I've already gotten this week. And I think this first one's going to be kind of an easy one. So let me pop that into our chat. Oh, hold on. Let me go back to the right piece of software here and put that in the chat. Okay, perfect. There we are. Okay, so this was a question that came through this week. Kind of actually an easy one for me to answer, because actually it says, how can I prove my working hours to NAPO? So this is when you guys are working towards your certified professional organizer designation. That's a CPO, and that is through something called the BCPO, which is, I think, the Board of Certified Professional Organizers, which is also connected to NAPO. So I can tell you what I did, which was I have always just kind of kept a database of my clients. So it'll say, okay, I worked with, Peggy for 3 hours, and we worked in her kitchen, and I've always just kind of kept track of my own hours. You could do this in a spreadsheet. I was using a little database. Currently, I'm using HubSpot, but I also have QuickBooks. So I have records of, the appointments that I'm taking. But check on NAPO on this one, because when I went through certification, it was a bit of an honor system. They said you could be audited. And even right now, when I recertify, I have to put in all my courses that I've taken. And so I keep records of that. And so I don't know if that's changed. So I would go to the NAPO website and look up certification, and there's a handbook on their site to see if that's changed. But that's what I did. I kept track in a database, and I have not been audited on that. So I guess it's a little bit of an honor system, but they could have changed that. I was actually certified in 2007. So definitely want to check that website from NAPO and get the official word on that. Oh, hi, Margaret, Eastern Shore, Virginia. We need to talk. I'm in Virginia. I'm in Central Virginia, so I don't work Eastern Shore. Yeah, a tiny town. Yep, a farm. Yeah, let me know what you're doing, because I do sometimes get leads in that Eastern Shore area, and that is too far. That is too far for me to travel. So hope that works out for you. I know they certainly could use some organizers in that area. Now, this is something that I have been asked actually a few times this week. This one has come up, which is, let me pop that in here. Is it this one? Okay, guys, have you ever wondered if you should bring an assistant on a job? I've actually gotten this question a lot this week. I, in my business, have had employees that are professional organizers and that I paid for their training to become certified organizers. So that's one option. I have also just had laborers help me, someone to just come on a job with me and like, okay, run these donations to the car, rehang these clothes on the hanger, just do those small tasks for me, because you'll just find when you're organizing someone else, it's like, I just need an extra set of hands. Like I need to do 3 things at once. And so it is nice to have that assistant. It's really up to you as far as their qualifications. I have hired other professional organizers, so they're trained in professional organizing. And that's one way to do it, because you can kind of put them on one project, one space in the house, while you work on another space in the house. Of course, you're probably going to pay that person a little bit more and charge the client a little bit more. But you can also, again, just have that extra set of hands if you need it. A couple things I will say about this. I do like to hire other organizers who have their business up and running so that they are insured. So just keep that in mind. If you're bringing people onto a job, you don't want them to do any damage to your client's home, because that is something you're going to have for. So just keep that in mind if you're bringing other people on a job and representing your company. And the second thing I would think about is that payment, how you're going to pay them. And you might want to talk to your accountant about if they're an employee or contractor. And I got to tell you, another big thing for me is, are they going to solicit my clients? So that's something to think about when you're bringing in another organizer. I have them sign a contract so that, will state in there, do not really sell my client on any services, professional organizing services or anything else. So keep that in mind. I don't think they have to have a ton of qualifications in the organizing world, as long as you're bringing them in as a second set of hands. But it's also nice to bring in another organizer so they can kind of do some of the heavy lifting for you as well. Okay, is it Lorraine? It's throwing me off with that. I'm terrible at names, guys. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're thinking about becoming a professional organizer. Well, you are in the right place. And anyone here who's new to my YouTube channel, welcome. I have been organizing for, it'll be 20 years in like a couple of months, which is crazy. It blows my mind. But I set up this channel because I've trained organizers as, my own employees, and through, NAPO and through individual coaching. So I thought a couple of years ago, why don't I just put all this on YouTube? I mean, there's so much you guys need to know about becoming a professional organizer. And I think I've done like 40 videos on my channel just about working as an organizer, but these Q&As there's always something new that comes up, another question to answer. So thanks for being here. And it actually helps me decide what videos I'm going to film next. So thank you so much. All right, so let me pull another question here and put that into our chat. And if you're just coming on, of course, feel free to put your question in the chat. That's what we're talking about today, is the job of working as a professional organizer. Okay, so this was a question I was emailed. How long are your consultations? So just to kind of put this into perspective, guys, I like this system of doing a consultation with my client first. That is a paid consultation, but it gives me a chance to look at the entire home, take some measurements, sort of figure out what other resources I'm going to need. Do I need a shredder to come? Do I need a closet designer to, build some things out? Do I need a contractor to build out whole rooms to create storage that isn't there? So I do like to do a consultation first, and I will tell you, my consultations are typically about 2 hours on site. And then I give myself a little bit of time in the office to come back. I'm doing a full Trello board, action plan for my client. And I'm getting that started while I'm on the job, while I'm on site. I'm kind of making some notes. But I do like to come back in my office and sort of finalize that, maybe provide some product links of, some things we might use, and just kind of plan it out. So I would say on average, I'm on site about 2 hours. And then for that initial consultation, when I'm starting with a brand new client, I'm going to come back. I'm going to do a little bit more in my office, and then I'm going to email a plan to my client. And hopefully we've even already set an appointment for our first kind of work session. But if not, we would book it, after I send back that plan. So it still takes me about a half a day. Even, my work sessions are about half a day. My action plans or consultations are about half a day. It's just a little different. The consultation is more like looking, gathering information, putting together writing resources down and sharing stuff with the client. All right, let me, I'm gonna pop back over here and see some good questions coming in. And I'm kind of popping in questions that I got on email just so I can bring them up on the screen, but then I'll come back to our live chat. Okay, so this was one over email. When you sit down to buy containers with your client, how do you know how many you need and of which type? And do you measure while your client is there? Does that take time? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think one of the most time-consuming things we can do is install products. And yeah, you kind of have to get it right, because I mean, you're the professional, and you have to think too, people are organizing their own home. They might just go to the store, buy a bunch of stuff. Maybe it fits, maybe it doesn't. But as professional organizers, we really want to be more thorough and kind of get it right. So I am very careful. I do declutter and kind of stage the space before I really start shopping at Container Store and IKEA and Amazon and all of that. So for example, I was just working in a kitchen and I was sort of setting up this bar. And so I'm going to take like the largest bottle and I'm going to kind of put that, on the kitchen shelf. And then I'm going to adjust that shelf to the right height. And so there's a lot of measuring going on when you get to that final step of putting in product. And I just put in these little IKEA bins that I really like, and I can never remember the name of. It's like Verera or something. You'll see it in some of my videos and on my Instagram account. And I had to measure like perfectly to get like 5, because they come in different sizes, and to get like 5 across, like, with the depth. And so yeah, when you're really installing product in that final stage, you want to do some good measuring, and you want to make sure that what you're putting in there, in those cabinets in particular, that the height is right, because I also change the height of the cabinets quite a bit. And so if I'm putting in like mug hooks, I might make that kitchen shelf like really tall, that first one, and then put in the hooks in the top, and then, mugs on the top, then mugs on the bottom. So yeah, when you get down to that detail, I think it's very time consuming, and but you also want to get it right. Let me go back up. I saw a question here. Hi, this is Belle. How do I calculate my potential income if I'm looking to work only part-time, mainly on weekends? Yeah, Belle, it's going to be a little difficult because you might say, okay, I'm available for 8 hours on Saturday and 8 hours on Sunday, so I can work 16 hours and I'm going to charge, $50 an hour, 16 times 50, and you think, oh, that's great. But honestly, I think what's really hard about working part-time is that really in order to get organizing clients, you need to do networking and marketing within your community to really kind of build out that consistency with your clients. So, what might happen with only having weekends available, you might get a client that you work like 10 weekends in a row, and it's like, great. And that might be like, I don't know, an $8,000 account for you. But then once that client's done, you may have this gap, and then you have to go out and market and find that next job and then put that person into your rotation. So, I'm not sure really how you would calculate that exactly. Of course, you're going to have a little bit of expenses for your business as well. So you want to make sure that you calculate the cost of insurance and, anything. But, yeah, when I started, obviously I didn't just start with a full book of business. I worked part-time, but I would work at night and I would keep all my days free. And then I got some steady clients and I would get like 2 days booked consistently. And then I would like market and network on like that third day. And then eventually I would get more clients so that my weeks would fill up. But it's going to be tough. I mean, you're probably going to have some really good weekends where you're able to book the entire weekend, and then you might have a little bit of a lull. So it's probably going to be a little inconsistent until you really, kind of get your business up and running and maybe open up a couple more days that you can work. And also, I'll say another thing about income, guys, I've really been thinking about this because I, as an organizer, and I know a lot of my colleagues, we have multiple sources of income, meaning, we're not just getting that hourly rate. We might be making some commissions. We may be making more money when we bring in a team. We may have speaking engagements. I teach online courses. So for those of you guys who are really looking to have, a very full-time job doing this, don't just sell yourself short on that. Okay, I'm going to go work for a client. I'm going to get $50 for, 1 hour. Let's think a little bit bigger than that, because that certainly is part of it. And, you want to certainly build out your clientele to, get that experience. But there's lots of ways to make money as a professional organizer. And so, Belle, you might want to think about, blogging or something that you can do during the week to get some income stream. And then so you have like your online income, and then you have your weekend income when you can actually do the job. So let's not limit ourselves completely to just that hourly rate, because that's definitely part of it. But there's some bigger stuff that you can get into here. All right, let me pull this up from Julie. Do you do anything before the consultation to see if the job is what you want and can do, or is your consult the first visit? So my consult is the first visit, but I do a very thorough phone consultation, which actually I say phone, but I try to do Zoom as much as I can. I certainly give people always the option to do Zoom, and so I can really get to know them pretty well. For those of you guys who are in my Essential Forms course, I have that phone script of, a questionnaire, things you can ask your client. And I absolutely pre-screen my clients. If someone tells me, I'm not going to get rid of anything, and I have tons of stuff and everything's packed in bins, and you as the organizer just need to figure it out and make it all fit, guess what? I'm not taking that job. And believe me, I've had those phone calls. So, I'm going to gather as much information before I even step foot in the house. I welcome, people to send photos. They don't often do that. But I'm happy to look at photos ahead of time. But usually just a phone call and asking the right questions of clients can really help kind of that pre-screening process. And that's how I know if they're going to be, a good fit for me. So I definitely recommend doing the phone consultation. I don't charge for my phone consultations. I say they're 20 minutes. Sometimes they go on longer, but if it takes 30 minutes for me to book that client and to, make sure that they're a good fit, I'm happy to stay on the phone that long. Okay, let me pull up here. Jessica, most organizers seem to be from up north. I'm in South Mississippi, and I don't know if anyone would actually pay me here in the South. How would I figure out if there's a market for me around here? Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, don't just limit yourself to, again, face-to-face clients. You can, I mean, I feel like it's a little bigger of a business plan, but you can certainly do some virtual work if you build out your website and social media. So just keep that in mind that, there is you can do a little bit of remote work. But yeah, I feel you. I mean, I'm in the South. I'm not as South as Mississippi, and I am near a larger city. So I don't really organize a lot of people in my small town because it is very rural. It's a farming community. So I'm driving 30 to 50 minutes to clients in sort of a higher end suburb or the city. So first of all, I would find out if there is a more densely populated community or something within an hour, and unfortunately you may need to find clients that are a little bit further away from you. Now, I wouldn't totally count out everyone in the small town. I have some students that I coach that are also in very small communities, but guess what? They are the only organizer there. So they can get some local PR. They get written up in, local newspapers and local magazines. So I would try to become very famous in your small community as a professional organizer and see how that takes you. Or where that takes you. And the other thing I would do, Jessica, I would definitely get out in your community and do some education. So, they may not know what they're missing out on by having a professional organizer. So you may just need to do some education. I mean, I've given speeches at thrift stores, at senior living facilities. I've partnered at like home trade shows with closet installers. Like really get out there in your community and find a place for you. It may end up being more like a personal assisting side and setting up home offices for like work from home, like lawyers and sort of white collar professionals. That might be a niche, but you're going to have to find your place there and see what you can do. And you may need to just I think there's a need for organizing in every community. Sometimes we just, in the small towns, we have to work a little harder to, to find the people that can afford it as well. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is a question about budgeting for your products for clients. Do you stay within a budget? Yeah, I mean, I try to kind of feel people out, and I think it's a little easier when you're actually working in their home. I'll give you an example. I might have a client who, like, I'm very much like an upcycler and thrift store shopper and DIY with, my organizing stuff. And, that's great. And sometimes I have clients like that. And I just go, give me that shoe box. Give me that iPhone box. Like, we can make drawer dividers out of this. We can figure some stuff out. Also, the more you eliminate, the fewer containers you need. So if there is sort of a budget issue with buying, all these containers, then we can certainly just keep downsizing. And then we don't really need containers at all because you're not trying to stuff a lot of stuff into drawers and cabinets. On the flip side, I will go into a client's house sometimes, and I can just tell going in, like their furnishings will be very high end. They have an interior designer. They, already have the most expensive, products in their kitchen. Maybe they have like a very high end, they just did a renovation on their kitchen. It's like a $50,000 kitchen renovation or even more. I'm going to kind of approach them as, what did you have in mind about product? And sometimes they already have some ideas. Oh, I love those clear bins. I've been seeing these clear bins everywhere. On Pinterest or Instagram. I go, okay, that's Container Store, and you guys know those bins are like $15 to $20 each, and just setting up a basic cabinet can be a couple $100. So, I'm okay. You're gonna need. Let me start a shopping cart for you. I'll do that on site. And they'll see, okay, we're buying $800 in containers today. And if they're like, cool, great, that's exactly what I want, then, we're going to kind of go with that. So, but then I have clients who will not spend a penny on organizing products. I mean, not even a red cent. Like, we have to do everything DIY. So for me, it's really up to, it's really the client's choice. And I'm happy to do either way. I mean, we can spend thousands of dollars on product, or we can just sort of make do with other things that they have in their home, or, something they've gotten at the dollar store, or even IKEA has really expensive, like $3 to $4 bin quite a bit. So yeah, I would definitely feel out their budget, but you're going to know pretty quickly. Like if they say, well, what would you do here? And then you kind of pull some stuff up on your computer and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to put in, $20, $15 bins, and that's going to be X hundreds. You're going to know pretty quickly if they're okay with that, or if they, gosh, you're crazy, I'm never going to spend. So I can, you can certainly ask in your pre-screen, like, what's your budget for product? And kind of get a sense early on. But I do find it's almost easier for me to get a sense of their budget once I'm in their home and looking at, their other purchases. And also, I always declutter first and then buy containers. So I'm not going to do a consultation and then just go out shopping, or I'm not going to do a phone call and just go out shopping. So I'm going to have some time to declutter and reorganize their things before I actually start buying anything. So, so there's usually time to do that. Okay, this was another email question. I'm going to copy in here. And for you guys, I see a couple of new people here. When you're joining, feel free to ask questions in the comments. We are talking today about the business of professional organizing. And it probably looks like on your end, like I'm typing in a lot of questions, but I'm just copying them from my email. If you're not on my email list already, in the description of this video, there's going to be like a free guide that you can sign up for. And when you sign up for that, you'll be on my email list. You can certainly unsubscribe anytime, but you'll start getting some emails from me, and then get information about my courses and coaching and all that good stuff. So that's what I ask people to do. Just, email me the questions, and then I just love coming on here and talking about professional organizing. So here we are. Okay, so I love this question because I can tell it's one of my students, but I'll explain to you guys what this means. She says, if we already did steps G and D, so just for maybe some new guys out there, it is, I have a 3-step process: gather and sort, which is your G. D is make decisions. And then P is the put away. And the put away is when you're getting containers and labeling and doing all those little final touches. So she asked, if we already did steps G and D in a closet, but have to wait for a closet install, do I put the clothes in a bin until the closet is ready, or do we put them back in the closet? Because, of course, you don't want to leave your client a mess for days. I will tell you, I am definitely a fan of kind of putting it back in, unless they happen to have like a guest room where I can leave, I might need to leave, like if it's summertime, I might leave their winter wardrobe like out in a spare room or something. But I can tell you guys, and I don't know how it is where you all live, but my installs for like kitchen organizing products and closets, they may be 8 weeks out. So normally in my market, it'd be like 2 to 4 weeks. But right now, it may be 8 weeks from the time that my client purchases a closet system to the time it actually gets built and installed. So I would definitely do a decluttering session, which is the gather and sort and make decisions. And then at this point, if it's going to be 8 weeks, I'm just going to stage it back in that closet. And then it's all going to, I would just maybe even take a picture of it, like, okay, this is how I had it. And then I might try to even book a session with the client on the day of the install so I can pull it back out. Because when they install closets, the closet installers want those closets completely empty. So I may just take a picture so I kind of remember how I had it set up, or I may come the morning before the install and then pull everything out, and then do the final organizing after the install. So that's how I would handle that. Okay, but now I cannot answer this question. What are the chances of being sued by an angry client? I have no idea. I will tell you that I do have an LLC. I do have liability insurance. I am also, I have contracts. I am also very forthcoming with my clients about pricing, and I am very careful when I'm in clients' homes that I don't just randomly start shredding important documents and also, breaking valuable things. So I feel more comfortable having an LLC and having the insurance. And when I'm coaching new organizers in my coaching program, I definitely want you guys to have a conversation with your lawyers and accountants to reduce your liability. That's really what it's about. You don't want to try to get a business going and you've hardly made $10,000 and something happens, some catastrophe to close your business. So yeah, I have to say, obviously I have no idea, how likely you are to get sued. Gosh, I feel like I should knock on wood. I have never been sued by a client. And sometimes I think too, I just want to say this real quick. You have to kind of trust your intuition with people because, of course, we're going into people's homes that we don't know very well. And I have worked a few sessions with people who they're very anxious and they're kind of talking about like all like other people that they're going to sue or give a bad review to or do all this. And like, if it's kind of a real like angry kind of sort of negative person, I may choose not to work with them. So, just keep that in mind, that you're going to work with all types of people. And just work with people that are nice people that you feel comfortable with. There's certainly plenty of those. The liability, I have an LLC, and that's, I guess, kind of monitored by the state of Virginia. And I just have a business policy through the same people that do my home and auto, which in my case is State Farm. I don't know if they're just where I am, but go to a small business insurance agent and yeah, and have a conversation with them. Hi, I'm so excited to see you live. I'm so excited to be here live. It's a lot of fun for me as well. Sorry, I'll say you've chosen your name and gotten your. Yeah. So I cannot give like full legal advice, but it's my understanding that the LLC name doesn't have to be the business name. Double check with your lawyer about that. But if you if you have a DBA through your, yeah, but you can definitely have a name for your company and then start an LLC. I'm pretty sure about that, but check with your lawyer on that one. But yeah, when I started, I got a DBA, which is doing business as through my, through my city. When I lived in a city, they required a DBA to get a business license, and then later I set up an LLC. Okay, I think this is a quick one. This is another one from the email as well. Let me pop that in about containers. Senator says State Farm won't do it for me here in Florida. Yeah, you're going to have to find like your local, like go to like your Chamber of Commerce meetings, go to networking meetings in your community and all of that, and find those resources. They shouldn't be hard to find, an insurance agent in your community. Okay, so if I'm going to get storage solutions from Amazon, how do you order things if a client doesn't have an account? Do you create an account for them, or would you order it through yours? I kind of go back and forth on this. If it's just, see, the thing with Amazon, I personally have Amazon Prime. So if it's a small, $30, $50 thing, it'd probably be faster for me to do Amazon Prime. But I can tell you guys that you can have Amazon Prime deliver to your clients' houses. And I have done this like one time because I did need like hundreds of dollars of product, but she didn't have Amazon. And so I was at her house and she actually ordered through my account. We got it delivered for it. And then I just took her, credit card out of my Amazon. So you can do that because you can do multiple forms of payment in Amazon, and you can also deliver to different addresses in Amazon. So my rule of thumb, if it's, like I said, if it's $50, I'll buy something and then I'll put it on my invoice to the client. But if it's like, hundreds of dollars in product, I'm going to have the client, pay for that directly. So yeah. So for those of you joining, we are doing live Q&A today about the business of professional. It looks like I'm putting in a lot of questions here, but I'm just going through my email and copying and pasting some things that I have gotten over email. I know I have a couple more here, but certainly put your questions in the comments and then I can get to those. Okay, let's see. Did that one. Oh, here's a good one that I got from email, and it has to do with marketing, which is something I, of course, always get questions about. Let me see if I can pull this one up here. Okay, so I think this question sort of comes out of one of I think one of the best ways, and now hopefully it's something we can do more now that COVID restrictions are a little bit lighter. They certainly are where I live. Hopefully they are where you live, is to get out in your community and give workshops. And then from those workshops, you are going to recruit new clients and you're going to get leads. So this is kind of a win-win. You can charge for workshops and speaking engagements, so you can actually get paid to give presentations. You can also give free workshops and then recruit people from the audience to become, leads in your business. So I would workshop. And it's really important that you think about your niche. So for example, if you want to help seniors downsize, you're going to want to do a downsizing workshop in a senior community. If you are helping moms with kids that aren't quite at school age, like new moms or moms of young kids, like adjusting to, life with babies and toddlers and reorganizing your entire home, then you want to give a workshop to a mom's group. And so you're going to hit that target audience, and you're probably going to talk more about like storage and max storage in your home or time management. So first, if I was coaching you guys on workshops, I would want to find out just what's your target audience. And let me tell you, if you don't have a target audience, let's do a coaching call and let's get you a target audience, because that will help put a lot of things into place for you. So find out who your target audience is, and then you want to get in front of them by giving a workshop. Okay, so the question is, I would love to hear more about the workshops you use used to give in your community. You said you give out a worksheet, and what was it on, and what have you talked about? I mean, I've been doing this a long time. So I've given workshops on paper organizing, time management, decluttering, senior downsizing. I've Marie, the Marie Kondo actually will be workshops that I give summer, since she's got a new television show coming out. So I'll probably go in my community and talk about that a little bit. So yeah, I mean, you can do a handout, you can do PowerPoint slides, you can just get up and talk to people. I think if it's like your very first workshop, you want to find out how much time you have to speak. And then what I would do is keep it very light, like 10 tips to declutter your home, or 5 ways to increase the storage area in your space, or 10 ways to eliminate paper clutter, just something really high level. And then I would leave a lot of time for question and answer, because that's really how you're going to bond with your audience and get to know their needs. And then they're going to connect with you, and then hopefully they're going to hire you to organize their home and their space and their time. So yeah, I mean, it's great, guys. I mean, if you, I actually don't really care for public speaking that much, believe it or not, as I'm here on YouTube live. But yeah, I mean, come with something prepared, and then just leave time for questions. And like, if you love public speaking and you love live training and working with people in your community, you could make money at that. You can charge for those workshops, and if it's a fee-based workshop, I probably would do more kind of handout or something more interactive with them, and you usually have more time. So you might do like a paid workshop, might be an hour or more, and if you're doing like a free speech to a mom's group or a senior community, you may only have like 30 minutes, but it's going to kind of vary by your group, but great way to get clients for sure. It's a bit of a win-win. Here's Rachel. Hi, you're inspirational. Thanks. That's why I'm here. I mean, I really think you guys can do this. I mean, organizing is it is a very strange and very, niche community, but there are ways to help yourself actually establish a business here. And so that's what we're here to talk about. Okay, so Morgan's afraid of public speaking. I had to take a class like a times yeah. It's not totally my thing either. I really actually like working with people one-on-one. But yeah, I think, if you want to get out and know and get to know your community, I would, yeah, and I don't know if this takes like more or less nervousness, but I'm always less nervous when I'm answering questions. I don't know, that might throw other people off, but like, I don't like just kind of reading like a detailed script. I just feel like it's easier to kind of interact with people. But yeah, just, maybe start with a small audience and come prepared with like a couple of tips, and then just leave time to answer questions, and just use it as like like you're just trying to educate your community about this thing that you're really passionate about, and this thing that, you think could benefit them in their life. Okay, let me see if I'm going to copy. This came in over email as well. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, okay, so it's overwhelming to look through all the organizing solutions from every store and every brand. How do you choose? Do you have a list of essentials you always buy? Yeah, I would say I do tend to kind of stick with the same things. I have a video on this channel about like maximizing space in your kitchen, and I think I also have one on maximizing space in a small closet. And I really want to do one on hangers. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that, but I've been wanting to do like explaining different hangers and what they're good for and which one to use. I just haven't quite figured out logistically how to sort of film that. I think I need to actually set up a little rack maybe in my office over here that I can show you how to use hangers. But I mean, I've kind of landed on IKEA. I really like because they're not that expensive and they do have some of the sustainable products or just very, very simple kind of streamlined products. I have a couple of photo boxes I like, but I tend to just get them on Amazon because it's easier to find just a basic photo box and sort of art, scrapbooking storage box on Amazon. And yeah, sometimes I'm just in a client's house and, if they just love, container store, I'm going to go down that path with them. We actually just got a container store in my market, which is Richmond, Virginia. It opened this year. So a lot of my clients aren't really that familiar with container store products, believe it or not, but I think they will be. And that could be a bigger part of what I'm helping them get. I'm pretty familiar with Target. Target's really big where I live. I used to do Bed Bath & Beyond, but their inventory got a little spotty for me. So yeah, I do. I've kind of gone to like ordering some Target on. I like some of their stuff for linen closets. So like Target, IKEA, container store, and then yeah, whatever I can kind of hit up on Amazon. But I do find that I'm usually getting drawer dividers. I'm replacing hangers, photo storage, photo boxes, keepsake kind of memorabilia type boxes, and shoe boxes. I like container stores, just clear shoe box. And I like clear containers. So Container Store has those clear storage bins are easy to label. So, and they're not, there's a lot of stuff at Container Store that I think is a little pricey, a little overpriced, but they're just basic. I think it's Iris. They're basic, like weather tight storage tote in clear. I can get those all day long for garages and attics. That's kind of nice. So yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to be very like stylish and sort of how you work, you may kind of get a product that you like a lot, and yeah, kind of keep going with that. So, but those are just a few that I kind of use. I definitely sell my services more as like a decluttering service. So I tend to work with a little more like extreme clutter, downsizing, that type of thing. But especially if you watch that kitchen video, I have my favorites in there: my mug hooks, my shelf stackers, all that, under shelf baskets, all that stuff. Use that stuff all the time. Yes, hangers. Okay, Rachel's in England. Yeah, hangers. I feel like I could do a whole workshop on hangers. So I'll definitely try to get that video out. I'm going to film videos next week, so maybe I can throw that one in there. My content coming up probably this summer is going to be a little more in the extreme clutter and hoarding side of things, because I think you guys kind of know, if you're here on my YouTube channel, that I work for now the television show Hoarders that airs on A&E. So I worked several episodes on season 12, which has fully aired now as of Memorial Day. And I'm going back out for season 13. So I'm going to have quite a bit of content coming up on my YouTube channel about working in extreme clutter and kind of hoarding environment. I'm going to do a couple of videos, and then I'll keep doing my lives too, though. So this will be a good place to connect with me. All right, guys. So we've got about 10 minutes here left. So if you have anything you want to put into the live chat, I think I have just one more question that came on email. So I'm going to put that in here. It's a really long one and I haven't read it yet. So let's see what this says. Okay. 'Cause Okay. So at what point in the consultation do you hand the client the terms of agreement? I'm on my second paying client, agreement. I have doubts. So, all right. So a client terms of agreement is just simply kind of a one sheet that outlines how you do business. If you guys are in my essential course, let me put actually a couple of links in here while I'm thinking about it. Let me give you the coupon for my essential forms course, because that's where you can get my client agreement and you can modify this. So if you don't have a client agreement, you can set one up very quickly by using my document. It's editable, and so you can do that. And then my forms course is also in my whole bundle of courses. So if you need help with like process or marketing ideas, there's sort of 4 pieces in that bundle. There's essential forms, which is my most popular class by far, because that is basically the documents to start your business. And so you'll, agreement, you'll have your intake form, all that good stuff. And then if you get the bundle, it has essential forms, a workbook to help you through some of the marketing pieces, and the intro to professional organizing is the client process. So that's going to give you all the information from the first time you talk to someone on the phone to when you complete a job. And then the 4th thing that's in there is my creating action plans using Trello. So I taught a Trello course actually at a NAPO conference this year. And what is in my bundle is the same course. So if you didn't make it to NAPO and you'd like to know more about giving consultations, getting paid for consultations, that's the important piece, and having a plan that you can give your client and charge for, that's what I use the Trello board for. So all of that's in the bundle. So I say that because the client agreement is in that essential forms course. So where I would put this in is, so I'd have my initial phone call with my client. That's going to be over the phone or over Zoom. That's going to be free. And then I am going to either email them my 1-page client agreement, or I am going to bring a paper copy to my first session, which is typically a consultation. So I'm going to kind of deal with it at that consultation time. And yeah, no, I wouldn't be afraid at all to show them an agreement. If anything, I think it makes you look more professional. I had a job last year, and it was actually a referral from a family member, which I don't really get that often, but it was like a family friend. So they didn't really know me professionally, but they knew that I could help them out of a hoarding situation that they had with their family member. And so they contacted me, and I could tell she was really on the fence. And I went ahead and emailed my client agreement to her, and she booked me because I had my confidentiality clause in there. So she knew I wasn't going to just go back to my family and tell them all about her family, because that'd be very unprofessional. It just kind of laid everything out, how I conduct sessions, how I charge, that type of thing. And she actually booked me because I sent her that client agreement. So it can make you, look and certainly feel more professional, and to kind of lay things out. So it may kind of help seal the deal with some of these clients that are on the fence about hiring you, because it sees, they can see that you're a professional and you're legit. And as far as making your business like legally established, I mean, I would, if you're doing this, if you are, setting this up as what you're going to do professionally, you're going to be charging me to set up some type of accounting software so you don't get in trouble with the tax man. So if you have clients, I would go ahead and get that stuff set up as quickly as possible. Of course, if you need help with that, let's do a coaching session together. I do have a group coaching program that I will run a couple of times. Awesome. I have a wait list right now. I'm not sure what I'm going to I thought I was going to do it this late spring, but then I actually was traveling with the Hoarders TV show, and I didn't want to be on the road and also trying to work with you guys. So we'll see. It's pending. Keep asking me about that group coaching, because it is a lot of people start the group coaching program, which is 6 weeks, and they don't have a business. They're not legit, and by the end of the 6 weeks they are. So that is, if you guys are really serious about setting up a business, we do accountability calls and kind of get you set up. So don't be afraid to make your business legit, and certainly send out that agreement, because it will give you some credibility. And I think the more legit and credible you are, the more people are going to hire you. Okay, this is a great question, actually. Advice about connecting with a referral partner or asking other organizers for help. Yeah, I'm not sure how to approach it. Okay, so this is something I actually talk about a lot. So I do get this question about how would I actually do that? So I need to do a video about this, or put it into a training program. We work a lot of it in the coaching program, when I can kind of get to know you guys a little bit better, because I can kind of figure out where you're coming from. And but kind of my secret sauce to this is, if it's a referral partner, I'll give you an example. Working with a local hauling company, or working with a local closet install company, I'm going to approach them of, hey, I want to learn about your business because I think my clients can use you, and how can I help you? Now, yeah, you might only have 1 or 2 clients, but that's okay. Like, these are services that you will use with your clients. So what would happen is I would, have a Zoom call with that person, or, back in the day, a coffee with that person, say, I just want to learn more about your business. But of course, in the process of that, they're going to learn about your business, and then they may have some people who need you and refer you. So I do this kind of give to get. Like, I want to figure out how I can help them. And then in the process, I get leads as well. And so that's what a referral partner is. You're both giving each other business. Asking another organizer for help. And I don't think I've said it on this live, but I can tell you guys, I get a lot of my business from other organizers. And the reason for that is I've built up those partnerships, and there's lots of reasons why another organizer would give you a job. Sometimes their schedule changes. Sometimes they don't want to work certain hours. Sometimes the job is too big. Sometimes the job is too small. In the beginning, other organizers would give me paperwork jobs because I love paper organizing, and they didn't want to do that. So I think the key with other organizers is actually forming a relationship, just, hey, let's talk about, our business, I know when I started, we had a NAPO chapter, or we were forming a NAPO chapter. And so we kind of had this sort of networking lunch that we would go to talk to other organizers. So you might want to find out if that's active in a community where you live. But what I would do is research the other organizers, and I would find out what they specialize in, and maybe even connect with people who don't specialize in the same thing you do. So an example for me would be, like, I am not a decorator. I cannot, that's not, I don't really do a lot of like staging. I'm more on the extreme clutter, downsizing world. And so you may reach out to someone in your community. Like, let's say you're like me, I would reach out to someone who's very like design heavy, like maybe their background's in interior design, and maybe they also hang pictures, and, maybe they do all these things. And I would say, sometimes I get those jobs that they really just need some rearranging for sort of beautification, but it's not really clutter. Can I refer those jobs to you? Because that's not really in my wheelhouse. And then alternatively, they may say, wow, sometimes I get some really extreme clutter jobs and I don't know what to do. I don't want to deal with that. Can I send those to you? And I'm like, yes, perfect. Let's do that. Same thing with paper or information organizing. So I would try to collaborate with people that do different things, or, do different hours, but find out what makes you different from their business. And then, hopefully you can even refer business to them, and then that will come back and they'll give you business. So, think of it as a real partnership. What I would not do, which happens to me sometimes, is, I'll just get an email that's like, hey, I'm a new organizer in the community. If you have work, send it to me. And I get an email like that. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure what I can do. Like, I need to know sort of what they specialize in. I need to know if they're insured. Can we partner on some jobs? Do LLC? Like, can I pay them as a contract? There's a lot more that I need to know to actually partner with someone. Maybe do they do the same thing as me? Do they do something different? Like, are they in a different, I'll tell you what's big for me is if you're in a different part of town, because on the other side of Richmond, I have to drive an hour to get there. And so if I can refer business to someone on the other side of my market, that's great too. So just get to know them and figure out like how you can help them, and then, kind of form that relationship. All right. Yeah. Okay, good. Katrina loves public speaking. If you love public speaking, do those workshops, or maybe even become a public speaker for that. That is a career. Talking about organizing and writing books. That's absolutely, a place you can go in this business. It's not a place I want to go, but there are a lot of public speakers who talk about organizing. Yeah. The sentimental items. Oh my goodness. I think before I started as an organizer, that was my thing, was that sentimental stuff. I had a hard time with like things from my grandmother. I lived with my grandmother when I was young, and she died when I was 16, and I just have so much of her things and, different. But yeah, I mean, you have to kind of go deep on that stuff and think, and this is for your clients as well, am I keeping this out of like fear? Does it really make me happy? If you haven't done Marie Kondo and all that, like the emotional connection you have with it, is it a good memory? Is it a bad memory? And then sometimes you have to just sample. That's what I had to do with a lot of my grandmother's china and little knickknacks. I had to say, like, I'm going to keep 12 dishes. I'm not going to keep 200 dishes, in my kitchen. Like, what can I give to other family members? I can't keep it all. It's too much to kind of move around. And for a while this was a long time. This, like, after college, I had, t-shirts, because I played tennis, and I had t-shirts from all these tournaments and stuff. And I just woke up one day and I'm like, I don't like wearing boxy t-shirts. Like, why do I have 2 drawers of like keepsake t-shirts and I just got rid of all of them. So yeah, I mean, we're just here to kind of work our clients through that process. Yeah. So, okay. So I think Jessica, oh, good. Well, that's great. Congrats on being debt free. Can't say the same myself, but I do. Yeah. Okay, great. Come on into my courses. Yeah. Okay, I think Rachel. Yeah, take a look at my other videos, guys. I think I'm up to like 70 videos. Some of them are about just actual organizing, like kitchens, closets, KonMari. Yep. Yeah, I will say that people who go through my 6-week coaching and who like don't start with a legit business, but at the end have a legit business, they have told me that actually gives them the confidence and motivation to really, go with this industry. And I gotta tell you guys, if you work it, you will find those clients. And I'll tell you, it doesn't take a lot of clients to get off the ground. I had a couple of clients at the beginning who had very large homes and very large home offices, and one of them had a business that they ran from home and employees. So there was kind of a lot coming and going. They went ahead and booked my time for like a full day every week. So I got, half of my time booked pretty early, and then I would, unpack a house, and then I would go and do kind of a big clutter downsize that would keep me very busy for several days or several months. So, and then once you get the word out in your community, then, yeah, the phone is going to ring, and then you're going to get those referrals as well. So get out there and work it and make your business legit. All right, let's wrap up here. I got to take my dogs for a walk, and I hear they always start scratching at 3 o'clock. Like they know. Oh, okay. So the free guide, Jessica, in the description of this video, and it usually goes in automatically, but if it's not there, I will add it. And the free guide is called Professional Organizers Launch Guide. So once you get that, you'll be on my email list as well, and then you'll kind of stay up to date with everything. Also, you guys, I should tell you, I have a Facebook group. I don't know if some of you guys are in there. It's called Organizing for Professionals. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, I'll put that link in here too. But that, I think the free guide is like in there as a file in that group, but also you can just sign up through here. The wait list, so I just put a link in here for the coaching program. So when you go to that page, there'll be a little sign up. They'll say, this isn't open for enrollment yet, but you'll get all the details, and then you can put your email there. All right, I'm just going to put a couple more. I can actually, if you give me 1 second, I'll put the link to the free guide here as well. And was there another link? Let me put the link to the Facebook group too. And I apologize for in that Facebook. It's so great to see you guys having dialogue amongst yourself in the Facebook group. It's awesome. Like everyone's there's hundreds of people in there now. So everyone's kind of helping everyone else out, which thank you if you're in that group and helping other people, because I don't always get a chance to get in that group. I usually am a little better about staying on top of YouTube than I am Facebook, because I'm more of a YouTuber than a Facebook person. But what's great about that group is there's some people in there who've gone through my training and coaching, so they can kind of help share that information. So I'm going to put the link here first to the Facebook group, and you can get the free guide there. And then I'm also, okay, here we go. I should know the link to this because it's just my website, which is myspacematters.com/guide. And that's where you can sign up for the guide. So I'll put that up there. Yeah, so spacematters.com/guide. You'll get on my email list, and yeah, so thank you guys for spending this hour with me. Feel free to email me, or pop some questions on YouTube, or send me an email and say, hey, answer this question next time. I'm going to leave these lives up so you guys can revisit them, and just make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video, and then you'll be able to find it and get back in there. So all right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and good luck in your business.